Can you hear me okay, Sheree? Ah, you're muted, sorry. All right, let me hit the unmute. There you go.
See our meetings too.
Now I hear you.
I know I do.
So are you on main campus or are you up on mountaintop?
No, I'm still arranging my stuff. That's why I came into the virtual meeting tonight. But I didn't want to miss it. Like, I'm really excited about this actually.
Okay, cool. Oh, and I got your text 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Yes, that works. Hang on, I might have a conflict. Let me check 1 second. Oh, no, I should be good. It's Thursday. Yeah, okay. So I will send a Zoom invite for that. Okay, and oh, the session is recording.
All right. Jerry, can we see you? Can you give us an image, Jerry?
Oh, this.
I know she's conserving her battery. There we go.
All right.
I think she's around. The streets are around here, right?
Are you here on campus, Jerry?
I can. I'm hearing you. It's just that I'm in the park, so that's why I'm trying to save my battery.
Are you on camp? You're not on campus, are you?
No, not yet. I'm still packing my stuff.
Oh, so you haven't moved yet?
No, because I had a lot of problems finding like reasonably priced accommodation.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're glad you joined us. And I guess what we should do first, while we have you, is we'll go around quick round of introductions so everyone can meet. Jure is a new doctoral student in our TLT program. She started this summer working with Tom, Kate, and I on our NSF geospatial grant. And I told her what we were doing, and I said, why don't you join us? And I think maybe develop some skill sets and get involved in the research. And so one of the things that we're going to do today, Sheree, and we are recording the session, so you can always refer back to anything that's being shown or said. We're going to talk about where we think you might fit in the group to do something. And we'll kind of go through that today, and then we'll hopefully by the end of the session, are you gonna stick with us the whole time till 6 today?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely sticking around. Like, I'm really interested in the virtual reality project because I feel like my background is foreign language learning, and I really feel like it's so valuable for my own subject. I feel like you could really adapt it to like foreign language and culture. I'm really excited about it.
Excellent. All right, so Junior, why don't you start? I guess raise your hand so she can see us.
Hi, Jerry. Nice to meet you. Virtually / in person.
Yeah, you guys can
just names, right?
Yeah, just names.
All right.
So you can say what you do too, or something if you want.
Oh, okay. So I am starting my 7th year in the PhD program teaching learning technology, and this will be the last.
Dum dum. Dum dum.
Hi, this is Dylan. I'm starting my second year at Lehigh University as assistant professor at GMT program. It's also my second year joining the team.
Excellent. I'm Jonah. This is my 4th year and last year here at Lehigh. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Jonah's work was one of our so Jonah's one of our LVSIF students. So he's been working on the project since last spring semester and continued on in the summer. Also for fun.
Hi, Gray. My name's Sally. I am about to start my 3rd year in TLT program.
Yeah, doctoral. He's also a
Oh,
doctoral
yeah.
student. Yeah. Jen.
I'm Jen Nestor. This is my 5th year of the program. You're gonna coming into my classroom, so I'm really excited for that. Thrilled.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Jen's special education teacher in the Phillipsburg district. Kavya?
Hi, I'm Kavya. I'm a senior at Lehigh, and I'm also a fellow on this program.
Yeah, so Kavya worked with us last spring semester and then was an associate with us over the summer, worked at a distance. We're so happy to have her. And she's also like the best organizer ever. She's just got incredible organization. Digital organizers. Amazing. Juan.
So hi, I'm going. I'm also an LVSF IF student, sophomore in computer science. That's all.
Yeah, all right. So the other person that's not, so I didn't hear from Nate, so I don't know what's going on with Nate. I'll have to follow up with him. And Gion has a class at this time. So one of the things that we wanted to, and I talked to her this morning, she came in the lab. And what we wanted to do is kind of figure out where she might fit in best for the development. Junior has some ideas, and we've put it in the agenda, and we'll talk about that today. The other thing to note about Gion is she is our program, the TLT program Shoot Fellow. And so we may or may not be able to get her. I'm kind of hoping for maybe 5 or 10 hours a week to work in the lab on the project and a few other things. But we have a program meeting, Tom's along and I and the rest of the TLT faculty Wednesday. And so we'll have to figure out what other faculty needs are with the Shoot Fellow, because that person usually supports the program too. All right. So with that, let me get into the meeting notes. Jure, I guess since I don't know what you're viewing on, but I guess it might make sense for me to share the screen to start off with.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So is the desktop dead? Really?
So far. So they came in, so the desktop, Junior and I were here 2 weeks ago. We were here 2 weeks ago, and the warranty on that thing was going to be up like 3 days after that day we were in here.
Oh, wow.
And we got Dan Brashler in here from LTS. He was literally on Junior and I were meeting for like 4 hours that day. He was here the whole time working on the computer, took it to the shop, and we haven't heard updates since. So,
Oh, dead. Hey, good thing we got this laptop.
yeah,
You know, thank
yeah.
God.
So we got the laptop. The laptop came in, towards the end of the summer, which we got a little earlier. Today I'm learning how to use it. So everybody be patient with me. I'm gonna try hard to run the meetings from here, or however we do it over here. I'm gonna try to learn to do that too when it comes. Remember, I'm a Mac user, so laugh all you want.
Well, opening the meeting, I was.
There's the earliest morning is a bit more stress. Okay, so let's, I guess, go through the notes that we have here. So what we want to cover today, kind of talk about how we reorganized the Google Drive for the semester. We'll talk a little bit about Migration Fest. We made some decisions on our project versions. There's new repositories for all the projects in Classic, right? You got that? No, all right.
More or less.
More or less. So Junior will talk about that. We're going to talk about the equipment now that we have Oculus headsets for testing, we have this for testing. Yeah, we'll go over the sprint report. Let's see, what other big sheet thing, big item things. Okay, and then we get the dialogue sheet we wanted to test, and then we kind of want to assign tasks, kind of go through, and those were kind of our initial thoughts, so we'll talk about them. So that's on the agenda. I don't know, we're not really going to have any development updates today, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because we, we're just coming back trying to.
I have some.
He has some, yeah. Kind of reset. We'll see how this works. Junior put a template down here for us to kind of keep tabs of the development. Oh, and Nasreen, I forgot to add Nasreen. Nasreen is she's IVR yellow, right?
PC, yes.
PC. Yeah, I was going to add her for IVR yellow. I'll add her. So Nasreen, and I got an email from her today. She was at the airport in Jordan heading home. And so, yeah, she's been in Jordan all month visiting family. So she's not going to be in. All right. So I guess the drive, right? Start with that. So on the drive, all right. So, and I believe I'm sharing the browser, right? Okay. So what we decided to do to keep things manageable, hopefully that's not going to affect us. We decided to move the meetings for the fall semester. Remember over the summer, we had summer or something. We were kind of running off summer. So the link, there's a direct link here to the meeting notes fall 2023. And that opens this up and that gets us into our kind of meeting notes, right? And now what we put in at the bottom here, and it's also here on the what do you call this? The summary, right? The outline. Here are the meeting notes from the summer. So I'll just click that. There it is now. That's blocking and everything.
Yeah, bring it over here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so here's, all the meeting notes in the summer, right, that we did. Things that out here. This is a direct link to our folder, right? So all the stuff that we've kind of been working on is here, and there's the link to the folder, right? Everything we've kind of been working on. All right.
During the summer.
During the summer. This is only during the summer. Yeah, right. Everything from summer's here. And then here's the link to the IVR2 meeting notes
That we stopped in the spring.
that we stopped in the spring. All right, so all this stuff here. And then this is the link to IVR2 Google folder.
And the new folder.
All right. So what we thought was, when Junior and I went through our planning session a couple of weeks ago, we think this is like everything that everybody needs access to with this. And then we also put links, we'll show you the sprint report. We put links to these things in the sprint report at the top of the document too. It's in the template. So that's how we're organized. Does that make sense to people? Good. All right, so you have not. Jonas kind of chill. Here, yeah, got it. Very good. All right. And all right. I'm still getting used to the scroll bar. Okay. All right. So migration fest. So September 23rd. At the Lehigh Gap Nature Center is their Migration Fest public outreach event. It's a big festival. Let me tell you what we did last year, I'll tell you what our thoughts are for this year. Last year, let's see, me, Junior, Sean Mew, Zalong, we were at the Lehigh Gap Nature Center. We had in the great room a area they set up for us with a bunch of tables, and we brought 4 or 5 laptops and headsets. And we had the desktop VR version of Lehigh Gap Story installed on them. And people, and this was the study that we had running at the time. We just sort of launched the study, and so they experienced Lehigh Gap Story. And then there was a survey they completed, and we had both paper versions of the survey and a link with the internet connection that people could do it online. So we have a plan for this year. And it's on the board back there. I know you on Zoom land can't see this, but there's a plan A, B, and C. So plan A is we want to run the PC version of IVR1 Green. So that's Lehigh Watershed Explorers. And it's environmental and riverine issues is the official title.
Riverine environmental.
Riverine environment and environmental issues, or riverine environment.
Riverine environmental.
All right, riverine environmental issues. So for those of you just to recall, this is kind of junior's dissertation research study for the most part. And we want to try to get that version done before yellow. If that is, since it's PC version, if everything flows from start to finish by then, and we can get desktop versions on like this computer, my computer, junior's computer. I think you have another computer too. So we'd have 4 laptops there. And again, like we did last year, if anyone else wants to come help and assist, we're happy to have you. I think it runs 9 to 3, 10 to 3. I have to check the hours. I'll
I
get.
don't remember the hours,
Yeah.
but it was an entire day. It was very.
Oh, it's pretty much the day.
Food truck.
There's food truck. I'll buy lunch for you if you know, if you come, you know, so that's the incentive. Sure, they'll have the food truck again. That was a pretty good food truck. You ate the food
Yeah,
truck.
It was a very interesting day, like Shandu. We didn't even like it was much easier than the field trips because we didn't have to walk so much. We were in the air conditioner. There was lots of people, like many different people, families. It was a very interesting day.
Is it a Saturday?
It's a Saturday. Yeah, it's a Saturday. And
Quick question, if we do go on that day, like, do we also go to your house, like, on a field trip again, and, or?
we'll figure it out. No,
Yeah.
No, this day, the migration fest is a day for us to do implementation.
No, he's wondering about, yeah, but he's wondering about
Transportation.
transportation and getting there.
I have a car.
Oh, yeah, we usually go together to save.
Yeah,
environment.
so those from campus, you know, probably Junior from his car will take people from campus. And I'll meet you up there probably. Yeah, probably make most sense. Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably work.
Plan B?
So yeah, plan B would be, we just do a PC version of the Lehigh Gap Story like we did last year, because we have it ready, we know, you know. And then plan C,
If everything from IPR Green VR version is working and soft tested, like with people here at Lehigh, it takes precedent and we implement plan C instead of plan A.
yeah, so plan C is the VR version. So again, if we can, like Junior said, if we get it done, get it into the headsets, test it out, and we're feeling comfortable enough that it works well in the headset by then, we'll go to plan C. That would be, because we think people would be really cool to have headsets. We just don't know, because we're doing development and testing right now, so.
One thing I'd like to add, one thing I noticed too, when we did the testing during the Lehigh Expo in the summer, if we do any VR testing, we should like have like some type of like wipe on standby, because what happened is someone would use it and then the next person would put it on and then see like all like the sweat on it.
Yeah,
You
a
know,
whole bunch.
are they meant for VR wipes?
Yeah.
I don't know. We gotta check, like, make sure that we can use it's live zone.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it's safe.
For the headsets?
I mean, like, we clean the thing, right, with the plastic, silicone case, whatever. But then can people put it on their face like live? So we need to check that. But what Jonah is saying, like, regardless, we have to have a cleaning mechanism for every participant.
Yeah. So I when the pandemic happened, I spent a lot of money on this type of stuff. And I don't know. Didn't I bring a bunch in the lab? There's stuff here in the lab.
We have wipes,
Yeah, we have wipes in the lab.
but I mean, like, we usually use those wipes for our hands.
Right.
What the question I raise now is like, is it safe for us to clean it up and put it on our face? Or should we, like, this is part of the implementation mechanism we need to learn and like create a systematization.
So,
We don't know how long we need to wait,
okay, I think the answer is, I think it's fine. The wipe, because your hand wipes be, the same as putting on your skin.
What if like, let's say hypothetically a woman with makeup on or something, like, would that like mess their makeup or whatever?
Okay, that's interesting. I don't think we're gonna get people with makeup.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
hypothetically.
We also have the opportunity, we also have the EVA, whatever, those are like another mask that we can use and then put the headset. But it's one extra layer, but it's still one thing that we can use.
Mhm.
So this kind of the soft launch that we were talking about, we need to have real people using that with like the strategies we decide and to see what works and what doesn't work.
Mhm.
And on a bigger scale, I'm working with Jen because when we go to her school, like it's another situation. So we need to get to learn how to best implement with VR, with small numbers, with a little higher numbers, so that we can like keep the flow running of participants.
All right, need to, it's check wipes, right?
Wait, was there a lot of people like last time you guys went to?
About 45, 50 people, I think we had tests, participate, yeah, 45.
Yeah, we had, I think, about 4 or 5 computers. So it was 10 rounds of full table with people playing.
All right, I'll assign myself. Now,
And just to tell the entire story, I don't know if everyone followed, but that plastic, we don't have any open here. So there was an issue when they released the Oculus Quest 2 because it wasn't the silicon cover. It was kind of like kind of fallen, I don't know, like. In that case, had lots of people having allergic reaction. Yes, here. So if we remove this here. So this was added to the box very late. This was the original material, but this gave lots of people allergies. And Oculus started like shipping to all the users as a recall mechanism. So this is the solution, but it wasn't intended for the original design. That's why sometimes we feel it's too much on our face, right? But what I'm trying to show is that maybe we can plan to have at least one of these apart, and then we clean them. When the person ends, we get the one that was used, we can see that there is a sweat or the oil, and we clean it, let it dry, and we pick the other
ones I was thinking, yeah.
So if we have this standby silicone cover, it might be a way for us to speed up the process.
Do we have any spare silicone cover, or can we buy them separately online?
We can buy them online.
Okay.
But for example, we have 7 headsets, right? And the experience Dr. Boaz and Dr. Hammond, Jennifer and I have implementing with headsets in the school, we use 6, sometimes 5 because all the students didn't come. So even from our set of 7 headsets, we can have 2 or 1 spare, and there's one that's super unclean, I don't know. Or maybe we can buy it. That's it.
No, we'll buy. So Junior, why don't, we'll assign that to you immediately, all right? The other thing that, Junior and I didn't get to yet today, which,
It's pretty hard to put in.
I'm gonna wanna get by
That's why I
migration
grabbed it.
fest too is,
On the side, we'll need to go.
the travel piece. We were gonna, Junior and I need to kind of measure, we've got to think about if we're gonna transport within the boxes. I think we talked about probably that instead of additional cases. To keep them together, like when we go, if we use the headsets for going to Lehigh Gap, we want to have a big suitcase with wheels, and I have funds to buy that. So we're gonna make that decision. Just one thing you and I have.
So yeah, from the takeaway from this topic, our group needs to learn and consolidate the procedure of cleaning and rotating the cases so that people can feel comfortable.
But that makes sense. And we'll get it, like I said, we'll get floors and more of those silicone things. All right. All right. So decision on project versions. All right. So we had, when I say we, it's Junior and I, we had a very long conversations about, what we think is practical to go into the headset and what's not practical. So we made the decision that Watershed Explorers, the full version, remember the full version when we used it the first time with actual people, nobody finished it in less than 50 minutes. We feel that most people that are going to be using the the VR experiences, it's going to be like their first time in a headset. We don't, based on, I'm gonna say, Tom said to me when he did Watershed Explorers at the end of the summer, he said after 20 minutes he was feeling it, had enough. For some reason, my first time with these headsets too, when I was using them, I don't know, that wasn't my first time, was it?
Maybe it was your first time with the Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah, maybe my first time with the Oculus Quest 2. I had a hard time getting comfortable with it. I was surprised because other headsets like the Go and the Oculus Quest, I've had no problem with, but I had a hard time just getting it fit on my head right, and I was kind of holding it or pushing it to me a little bit, so I can see. It was I couldn't get to be tight and comfortable. Realizing, I think I was in it after like 20-35 minutes or something. Yeah, maybe longer.
No, it was much longer because you were suffering and we were taking short breaks.
Yeah,
and you were forcing like we gotta do this.
Gotta do it, yeah.
But like your face was destroyed afterwards. Yeah, it was sad.
But so we don't want people to feel that way. So we made a decision that we should keep the full version as like a downloadable, not for headsets, but downloadable, and somebody wants to install the PC version or Max version, we'll have it on the site. And I guess the WebGL version too, right? We have a WebGL version. We can put a WebGL version on the site. The other thing that we thought was kind of interesting about doing it that way too is when we go to public programs and we're out doing, or even the school things that we're gathering data for, we can have like a little sheet of paper and say, oh, go to our website for a full extended version of Watershed Explorers.
You could do a QR code.
Yeah, I could do QR code or something, but that's sort of where the thought was for that. Another thing, we had a talk about the data collection also. And I know we have on the list there for RedCap implementation, it's still on there. But we decided for like our survey measures that like Junior for his dissertation study for our research, like when someone did Lehigh Gap story last Migration Fest, there's there's about 30 Likert items, where you read a statement and then you just check either strongly agree, disagree, one of 5 boxes. We felt it's probably going to be better to get people out of the headsets when they're done, take those post measures. Because people will you get fatigue at the end with the headset, they may not be accurate. And we reflected on, we had done this, was it 2018 when we did it with the students? 2019, we did this, our first research study with high school kids. That's what we did. It worked really well. It just means for us, we'll have to do some data entry, with the data.
This is important for you and your future work with data analytics, because as we move away the in-game implementation, like the other parameters for engagement, just like time played, we lose many analytics for using as data. But what Dr. Bodzin and I really came to the conclusion is that it's too early for us to risk big studies like this, my dissertation, this study, that we don't even know how people will react. It's going to be their first time wearing the headset. And then they're going to be like lasting 1 hour because they were suffering trying to click the checkbox in the survey. So we opted like it's going to be safer for us to collect quality data of the experience if we do paper-based before and after, so that we also remove the amount of time before and after for them to be in the headset.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
We also want to give option for them to answer the survey on the laptop. That's an option if you want.
I don't remember if we discussed that,
but the issue with that, and I would recommend not to, because when you're taking the laptops to, let's say, Lehigh Gap Nature Center, we may not be able to get on the network, or their network may not be the best. I know for a fact, the Lehigh Gap, their network's not that great. We were able to do it there on some of the computers and not others last year. But capturing that data is important, so we want to make sure we do it and it's reliable. And the thing is, when you go any place that's not your own place, like Lehigh, we knew if we did it and had it on desktop and we're doing stuff here, I don't think there's any issue at all. But other places, there would be different settings. You don't want to risk not getting the data, some paper copies. And then now the other thing, though, we have Junior developed, actually, we have a drag and drop label with watershed map task. That one I want to test in the headset. I do want to get that into the headset by itself, and then kind of look at the interface and feel first, and then maybe make the decision. Should we try putting that into Watershed Explorer's yellow version, the industrial history? And I think that one might be an engaging task to do as part of the experience.
Because there is very little reading.
Yeah, it's very little reading. It's just, you click on, there's like, you have a map and there's 9 spots on the map, and if it drops, it's like kind of, what is this place? And you drop it down, it gives you 9 places and names, and you select the name. So I think that might work pretty well. And I think that's actually might be an easier task and one that to get the spatial awareness, to do it in a digital environment might be better than doing it on paper. So that's something that we're going to explore this semester. And we'll just have to have a bunch of stuff to test it out and then make that decision. And if we say thumbs up, let's do it, then we'll bring it into IVR yellow. And that kind of gets at yeah, all right. The next thing, if I'm going to shift over to the board in a second, but with the Unity versions, this is also really, really important. We're upgrading all our projects to 2022.3.3.1. So we've confirmed, and I think today we confirmed it, but Quan probably already knew this, that in the DevOps, the student lab, the student VR lab on main campus, that version's installed. We got confirmation from Ray this morning, Ray Gibson, in our CSC capstone. But just to kind of give you an idea, and really, this is more related to, I think, I just want everyone to know this, but Nasreen especially in CCU thing. So with IVR1, right, watershed experts, we have the full version, which is PC. We're gonna have a full WebGL. Then there's going to be a green, that's riverine environmental issues. There will be a PC version and a VR version of that, and that's again running junior dissertation study with that. And then yellow, there will be a PC version, probably a web version of WebGL. What's going to happen is there's going to be two different yellow versions. One is based on the research that I'm doing. That's going to have that map, drag and drop task. It's also going to have the same measures that we used with last year's Lehigh Gap story collection, but we're adding a measure that Junior developed on place space. Understand that it's like 3 or 4 items on place-based context. We think that we learned from the research that we did last year. We wrote up the manuscript and we sent it to the journal for review to be published. We learned that the narrative context and the sense of presence led to perceived learning, both knowledge learning and effective learning. And what I think is happening is, what we think is happening is that because it's place-based and people are coming to a place to test this out, they come to the Lehigh, there are differences from those that went to the Lehigh Gap Migration Fest compared to the middle school students that in the homework club that came into the Lehigh campus. They're farther away than ever been up there. But we think having that place-based context might be a moderated effect to the perceived learning. Because we had a pattern where everyone at Lehigh Gap nations were higher in all our measures compared to those on the web version, and then the students that were here from Brockville Middle School. And they're fairly good numbers. There's about like 30 to 40 people in each sample. So that's what that study is going to be about right here. Nasreen's working on a doctoral research project. She's comparing a video-based version of IVR Yellow to a headset version. But she is in her doctoral research project this semester, so she hasn't written out her research method for research questions yet, or her data gathering measures. So we're going to kind of have two kind of separate branches. At some point, we're going to develop two separate branches of the headset version of it. One where you'll have the whole thing experience, but then when it comes to them adding the data collection measures, that's where these two will branch out. All right, any questions so far? I know it's big, it's not an organization. I want to make sure everybody can kind of wrap your head around the big picture of stuff. All right, I think there's something in the chat. I don't know, Tom, can you read the chat? Can you tell us what's in there? I can't access it easily.
Yeah, no, that was just a message from Jure saying that she was now finding where the chat was, but nothing substantive.
All right, so Tom, if you don't mind, I know you got to leave and pick up some kids soon, but keep an eye on it. Oh, Jen, you're in there too.
Yeah, I got you.
Anybody puts in the chat, we can. Yeah, I'm not that coordinated yet. All right, so Junior, new repositories. Classic.
So since the end of the summer.
Should I show the class? I mean, do I need to show anything or not?
Not yet, I'm very yeah. Like that thing that is blue that Dr. Bodzin was showing, we were studying a way of organizing the repository. So it's only one cloud for each game, like each game in general. And that cloud will have branches for the different versions. We are suffering of overpopulation of the clouds on our server, and the limit is 25 gigabytes, and it's 24.4. So I'm fighting against Classic, trying to find a way to do that. In theory, and also writing out in paper, it's very beautiful, but as I started doing that, it's not very simple. But I still didn't drop the bone, and I'm still working on that. I have an example, Dr. Watson, can you show how to plastic, please? All right, like you have to share the entire screen, maybe, because you're sharing just the browser.
All right, so I have to do the search here, right? Because I don't have it in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're in search. But it's here, plastic SCM. You can't see it, so I have to share now.
Are you?
I'm not
Attracted
going to
to,
bring this over to the extended like that. Yeah,
Yeah, but you gotta share that.
I know. I'm with you, yeah. Plastic.
Yep, quick share.
This one, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So during the summer, Sean, you and I ran a test to see how is it like to have multiple versions and different projects under the same cloud. So Dr. Bod, if you go to the list of the on the top left corner, the name might be yellow, click there and choose the one with the highlight story. It's not there. Oh, this is not our case. Okay, so we cannot show this example because it used to be the alien component. So maybe click the house. Let's see if we can see the branch at least. Oh, there you go. The highlight story VR. Go down a little, open that blue button now. Yes.
All right, 2020 version, yeah.
So that's exactly, go to the branch explorer. Scroll out so we can see more, because there is a place where Shanyu and I put a label telling that the version of Unity was different. Like click that minus. Oh, wait. Maybe we need more. So since a given date changed from 28 to 1st June. Yeah. Yeah. You can put on the 28 as well. Should really drop down again. 46. Okay. So move back a little. No. We'll just go up and move the cursor to the left. Yeah. There.
Bring that up somewhere, right? Minimize that. Yep.
So on, you can make it bigger again, like on the zoom button.
So you see how he's having me thrive right now? This is what you all are gonna have to do with me all semester. And just cut me a lot of slack.
So we were having Shanyu, Jen, and Gian work on Lihaget story. And then at some point I say, hey Shanyu, can you help us by upgrading and going to 2022 and seeing how it works? So on July 17th, you can see that green label. We upgraded Shanyu's project to 2022. So we are in the same cloud, which is called Lihaget Story 2020.327. But in this cloud, we have two different versions, one from 2020, actually many from 2020, and only one, which is that one that has the green circle with 2022. So the only thing we need to do is to remember, if we need to go to a branch that has a different version, we need to make sure that we open that project with the correct version of Unity from our computer, right? Otherwise, it's gonna complain and everything. So the idea that we are trying to have is that having one cloud, like for Lehigh Gap Story, and then each branch becomes Lehigh Gap Story PC, Lehigh Gap Story WebGL, Lehigh Gap Story VR. So there will be only one cloud, but 3 branches with 3 different versions or platforms, right? Of course, it's going to be less. This cloud is not that bad, but it's going to be less like convoluted with lines and everything because it's going to be the end of the development process, right? So we will be transferring whatever we've done this past year to each one of the respective sub branches. What I found out was, Dr. Boston, go back to the list of repositories, please. And, oh, I'm sorry, the house, the house. So here, yes, I created this one called IVR1 Watershed Explorers 2022.3.3. How is this nomenclature like? IVR1 is the code of the game, so we know that it's the first one, Watershed Explorers, the name also, and in between parentheses, the version of Unity. But then, how do we know which one is VR, which one is green, which one is yellow? That can be done inside the cloud. Currently, we have thousands of clouds for Watershed Explorers. We have another one over there, IVR1 Yellow, that we were working this summer. And there's other like Watershed Explorers 2022, Watershed Explorers 2019. Too much. And we are running out of space in the cloud. So the idea is to do just like we had in Lehigh Gap Story. We have one cloud with the name of the project. And inside the cloud, we branch out to many different versions. So when, like, we go to a new computer or a new place, and then we need to download that project. You can say, oh, which repository? Watershed Explorers, IVR1. You will download it, you will be in the main branch. The main branch only has Unity, has nothing. And then you change to the sub branch you want. Like if you want the VR version, if you want the green version, the yellow version, the WebGL version, the PC version, everything in the same cloud.
So I have a question. And because when you started the conversation, you were talking about space in the cloud.
Yeah.
You said we had a limit to our cloud space?
Yes, we have a limit of 25 gigabytes.
And that's for free.
Yes.
Do we know what happens when we exceed 25 gigabytes? How much we charge?
No, but this information is in their pricing page.
Okay.
However, this is not going to happen because Kavya and I learned how to delete these things and restore, right?
All right.
So I deleted 7 or 8 projects from Kavya audit in the cloud, but we have to wait 7 days for the projects to really disappear and the space to clear up. For this moment that we want to see the space, it's bad. But when we deleted the projects accidentally, it was great because we still have 7 days to restore them, right? So I will be able to hopefully to see like next week how the cloud is like, because I deleted 8 projects from like many years ago. Especially IVR2, like the very first summer, 2021 IVR2, there were like 4 projects. I deleted them because we are already using the latest version of IVR2.
Right, right.
So we don't need to keep that in the cloud anymore. So I wish I had it today to show how that would be in the cloud, but I'm still struggling with like the plastic files. I guess I did headway this week, but I'm still there, trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. So you might have an update for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
And I'm wondering, like, how do people do that? What would be the best solution? I don't know. And they pay other people.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to add to. Oh, do we need this up? plastic or minimize it.
Oh, try to click that IVR one watershed.
This one?
Yes, and download the repository.
Right here.
Yes. So now don't do anything now. Part of the issue that I found and that we need to learn how to solve is that although we have the cloud in the servers, and although we save projects under the cloud, I don't know, like, for example, Jonah, I remember we were working in the XRI version.
Yep.
But then we were working there. You were saving plastic as well, right? So which repository is that? Because is that IVR yellow?
It was Bodzen's room. Was it?
Oh, is it inside Bodzin's room and then we branch it out?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Okay. So I was like afraid that maybe if we don't have a system of repositories in place, we may lose the project from what now Jonah has reminded me. It's fine. Okay. I'm taking notes.
All right, you go ahead and take it. Now I want to take a note. My notes. Let's do this. All right, I'm gonna, let's see, look into, plastic. Sort of. All right, now I'll try to make some time this week to look at, in case we go over this 25, how much would it cost us? We, as some of you know, Lehigh is, we have an issue with the Google Drive. There at the end of the year, we have to get it down to 100 gig, and I started the conversation with LTS, and they're going to look for a solution because I don't think we're going to be able to get it down. We're at 164 gig. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, gig.
Yeah, and Kavi did amazing work kind of cleaning stuff out this summer. But if it might be that we can get Lehigh, there might be other people like us that have these big projects and aren't going to be able to go down, and they might be able to come up with some type of cost share thing to support us, or again, it might end up being I pay $100 a year or something to maybe get additional Google space. But they don't know yet. They don't know exactly. That's just Chris Harvey and I kind of looked at the public spacing for general people, and I think it was like $100.
From all these audits we did, like Kavya, Jessica, me, we are in a stage that I need to sit down with you and talk aloud why we are deleting stuff or moving things. I believe it's possible for us to go back and meet the threshold, but it needs to be done together. It's not a one-man job. It's important because this amount of gigabytes, right, was created by over 60 people over 5 years. Only you and I were the ones that were always there. So we know if something just continued or still is meaningful for some projects. So we gotta sit down. I know your schedule is terrible, but it's important.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, we covered it.
Can you close that? I don't need that anymore. Can you go to this one in the middle? Can you go to those? Yeah. Can you go to the VR room project then? Because Bodzin's room is under VR. Or
that was under Bodzin. I thought it was under Bodzin.
We have a Bodzin repository.
These are alphabetical. No,
No, it's only VR room.
Is it VR room? Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's only VR room.
Yeah. Download repository?
I think.
I mean, what?
Do you have to download it to see the branch? Yeah.
That's something that I'm learning now, and we are learning now.
I think you can just click, hover over the VR room, and click the
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Okay, so it's not on disk, so it's not on, but we still have access to that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So can you see that what Jonah and I did? Like we branched from your room with the XRI system, which is the most up to date. And Jonah was developing Watershed Explorers Yellow there to make sure that we can have less problems to develop. Good, all right.
Thanks for that tip now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a great example, by the way, because if you can you move the table here? So the main branch is the beginning of the cloud. So whenever we download a project from the cloud, we stay at the latest change set, so the last circle here. And we can see that this is already change set 11 because Plastic has this visualization mode that shows only something. Let's see everything, all the history from this VR project room. Dr. Bod, can you click here and put 2020? All right, that's good. Yeah. Yes, see, so this is the actual main branch. And then when we reach it here, we made a label saying this is in the 2021 version. And then we jumped to a new Bodzing branch. And then this is just like Dr. Bodzing's, he can change the project, but the base of the tutorial is still here for all of us. Now, we can, from this one, John and I got this one here and branch it to have a VR version. The idea that I'm trying to implement is like, in the second, can you click on the second change set, please? So this is the comment on the right. This is the first check-in. Everything in my computer is being synced to the cloud. So when we create a project for whatever game or whatever project, the first circle is automatic, and the second circle is right after you install Unity. So the idea I'm trying to implement is from the second change set, this is the first one because the first one is 0. So this one that is green now is number 1, correct? Yeah, object number 1. So I'll be branching out from change set 1, so we can have all the versions of every game. I mean, like for example, this is the VR room project. So we will have every student as a branch here. The other projects like Watershed Explorers, IVR1. The main branch ends here with the version of Unity that is specified in the name of the cloud. And then PC version, full version. PC version, WebGL, full version, green, VR, green PC, and so forth. That's the current stage where I'm in, and I thank Jonah for helping us visualize more branches without installing that on the computer.
Nice. So that was under, we went to, or it was under the projects, right?
Yeah, this one that you click
Okay,
is
so if
the
I went
one
here,
here.
this
This
is
is
go here, and like this, the mystery of the Lehigh Gap, and so you can go to the sphere, click that, and that gives you the change things.
Yeah, like this is a nice example you're giving us.
There.
There's nothing there because of that filter. The filter is very annoying. So you have to go back to like way before the project started, because Mr. Lehigh started in 2021. And then you can see everything.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to finalize this like organization of the cloud. We will save the space, we will be more organized to find where each project is. And also that is gonna be aligning to this, which version of Unity are we using? It's gonna be specified in the very name of the repository.
we don't need plastic anymore. Next to that.
Yes, we need. I'm gonna show you
Okay.
some things.
All right, so I'll minimize. All right, it's 5:30, so we have a half hour, a little less than a half hour to go, so we need to move here. All right, so that's the.
Oh, I have one question.
Yeah,
We said here that all projects were upgraded to 2022, but IVR2 because we need to check if Fungus is compatible. So just when we start next week, we need to make sure that Fungus is compatible in 2022. If not, IVR2 will have to stay in the current version, which is 2020.3. 3.7 or 27F1.
So we need to assign that, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna do that?
I don't know.
Let's take fungus. John, you've used fungus a bunch. I use fungus a bit.
I don't wanna give that to Shen Yu because Shen Yu is already doing many things.
Yeah, all right.
Junior could do that. Javier, can you do that for us?
I've never used fungus before, but
But like, just to see if it breaks something.
yeah.
Have you, when you were like doing auditing or at an earlier stage, have you used anything that had the dialogue?
Yeah.
So the idea is after, like, you branch out, just like we showed here, you branch out from whatever latest version is, and you write the label 2022.3.3. And then you open that project with the new version of Unity. And then Unity is going to give you lots of windows. You got to update this. Are you sure? Yeah. And then after you finish the process, play and see if it's broken or if there are many red errors, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the process that we need to do.
Thanks, Kadia. My screen sharing is paused. Okay. Stop share. All right, I'm gonna stop share. Okay. So let me get back to screen share. Meeting. Meeting, actually. Yeah, okay. All right, so next, we'll kind of go through a couple things quickly so we can get into the sprint report. So VR headsets. What we have 7 headsets. I think we have 4. Jen, you're still in possession? You've got your, so, all right.
I got one.
Okay, so it's me in 3 and 4 here, right? Wait, where is that?
I put it back in.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's okay.
Are all of them accountable now?
I think mine's less.
All right.
Oh, so we shouldn't check. What is this check mark for again? Are we checking who returned or?
Well, we identified, we wanted to figure out the first check marks were who had them, right? So Junior and I were trying to figure out, Jillian returned hers. Jen, do you need to keep or are you gonna leave?
I can leave it.
Okay,
I got one.
all right, great. So let's cross out Jen's name.
I did.
Jonah, where's your headset?
It's at my house.
All right, so let's leave Jonah's name on there.
So me and John.
Yeah, you and Jonah have 2 out. All right. So here's the deal. We have the desktops. We'll have a desktop back here at some point, right? We've got this thing. And so these are development computers. I want this will stay in the lab. So remember, the lab is open for y'all to use headsets in here. Junior and I met. We emailed this guy who's in charge of facilities and furniture. They found us another cabinet that we're going to get. It's better than this so that we can move these headsets into the new cabinet. We'll take the Oculus Go headsets that are, remember in the summer, we stored them in that other cabinet. We'll bring those back in here. And one of the things I'm going to talk to my faculties along Tom and others on Wednesday about for the shoot fellow is maybe using some of the GION's time if possible to install some applications into those headsets, the Oculus Goes, and maybe these Quests later on, but at least for the Goes, so that people who are teaching classes in our TLT program, both the instructional technology courses and the teacher certification courses could use them. So they're not just sitting around taking space. I think that would be good use for our classes. And then eventually we'll do the same here with the Meta Quest. There might be some things we can get or get cheaply to add into that.
And what is the plan for our HTC Vive, the very first headset they bought?
Where is it?
It's stored. It was here all the time,
Yeah.
but now it's swapped there. It's a black big box.
I don't know what that. That's one with the cables and everything.
Like,
I think we can ask Tara and Steve if they have any use for it.
mhm,
Did I buy that?
yes.
Really? I don't remember. Really? I bought the Vive?
You bought the Vive for the project starting.
Oh, in 2018, that's right. We bought the Vive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then remember 2018, and then we started getting feedback from
Right.
teachers that they loved it, but they didn't see the feasibility of having that bulky computer with cables.
Yes.
And then I went to
in
California
space,
to
yeah.
see, to do a
Yeah, and then we
study
shifted to
to
Oculus.
Oculus,
Right, okay, thank you for the reminder.
So I talked to you about that in one of our field trips, and I said like, what about because Khan, John, and like Mountain Top, if they had some use, but actually everybody's moving forward with the technology.
Yeah.
So the last kind of use case I see is for teacher education or even our masters in instructional technology. If the person wants to show like the history of VR in the last 5 years.
Tom, Salon, have any use for a Vive headset? No. No, okay. So let's get, I'll ask.
So see LTS.
And where is it stored?
It's over there.
It's 283 Rockers goals.
I also, yeah, I know the password for that cabinet because I watched Evan do it.
Oh, we got the password as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I was sneaky. I was like,
All right, I doubt they'll want it, but I'll email Steve and Tara. and see. Okay. All right. So how I want to operate this semester is, remember, we have on main campus, there's still that VR dev VR lab for students that y'all have access to.
Oh yeah, quick question about
Yeah.
that. I forgot to ask this, but when I was working, like one of the two computers was like being replaced or being repaired or something. So like on install like the 2022 on like the one or two computers, like so the person like confirmed that the version we Unity was on both computers or was like only one computer.
I haven't read it yet. I just saw the.
Yeah, he said it was installed. So so I don't know if you checked both.
Yeah.
Can you respond back to him and Junior and just ask if it was on both
He
computers?
said I was able to stop by. It appeared to be working properly from my limited tests. I can just ask.
Yeah, and then follow, well, I think Steve and Tara were copied and so,
Yeah.
yeah, just make sure that they confirm with Steve and Tara, because they maintain that space. All right, so again, this is in the lab, and I know for some of y'all that are mostly on main campus, it's kind of an inconvenience.
Yeah,
Kind of an inconvenience to come up here, but at this point, I still don't want to loan this out for people who are doing development yet, because as you can see, we're in here, we have to use this for the meetings, right? And I think if we get to a point where this is sitting and it's not getting used, then we'll revisit that about does somebody need to take it out for a week or something like that. But my preference is it's here, it's available for you. You can come in on weekends, evenings, mornings, most days. If we have a meeting in here, if we're not using this, you're welcome to come in and do whatever.
I come in here all the time.
Yeah,
It's nice.
yeah.
Also has AC. My house does not have AC.
All
right
right,
now.
good. All right. Okay. All right, testing and like the dark cube is not needed, revised panel placement's good. That you're talking about the tilted panel for the background. That is.
dark cube is not, Dr. Bodling did his last test of the headset. So he said that he didn't feel the need for having the dark cube anymore. And that the positioning of the panels that one found is doing
It's really good.
a good job.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some other notes here. I have a question for Jonah and Juan.
Mhm.
Did you have the chance to test the dialogue manager in a baked version?
Like the, like once you're, everything's like in the Android thing. So,
Yes.
Yeah, on the headset by itself, not with the cable.
I don't think I have yet.
no,
Because when we were doing this test, the translation didn't work. So we still have one last step
Okay.
to see why is that.
Yeah.
right?
I really think it's just like a simple like directory issue. I really don't think it's anything to do with the code. I think it's something to do with directory of the VR headset not recognizing a specific folder. That's
And when you start, when you take that on again, try to not, like, I saw that there is a resources and a resources dialog.
Yeah.
I think the word resources is a key word native to
it is.
So put the dialog sheet under the resources folder, because that might be the issue.
Yeah.
All right. That's so picky, right? Like,
Yeah. I know the answer is simple, and I'm not gonna look for a complex like code issue because it's not. I know it's not. There's no way.
All right, so the dialogue sheet, we're gonna task you with that?
Yeah.
All right, Jonah, I'm gonna add it right here. Thank you, Jonah.
Yep.
We'll add that to the sprint report, yeah, when we can take care of this. All right, so sprint report. All right, so here is the template. And I think, that's right. Can y'all see that in Green World? Am I still sharing?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Jeray, this will be new to you because we use this sprint report. All right, so this is week 0. Even though we have kind of the due date. What day of the week is September 2? Is that a
September to
Saturday? So we decided we want our weeks to go close on a Saturday. That way, you know, if you start to go Sunday to Saturday, it gets whoever's in charge for the first, remember, we'll do like last year, somebody volunteered to be in charge for the first 3 weeks. And then Saturday, some point Saturday, send it to me. And I told Junior earlier today, I'm gonna try to keep have real weekends this year. I say this every year and I blow it, but I'm gonna try really hard. Really good. No, but I don't mind. If I get the email, you know, Sunday, and I check the email, I'll, you know, this is a quick task to look at the sprint report and send out a quick email. So I don't mind doing that on the weekends.
So it's a closing date on Wednesdays
No, the closing,
because it says August 28th for closing. Or what?
No, this is a
Today's
template.
Monday. Right.
This
No,
is
it's-
0. This is just. a
Yeah.
template.
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
yeah, so the due date will be Saturday. And so we so here's kind of the list right now. We gotta test the prototype of Watershed Explorers with the MetaQuest headsets, and that's ongoing. Now, the other thing I want to mention, I blocked off, we meet here from 4:30 to 6.
Yep.
I blocked off my calendar from 6 to 7 after this meeting, just about every week. There's gonna be 2 exceptions to that when I got Lehigh Gap board meetings, but if I pack a dinner, they're gonna let me zoom in to make those 2 meetings. It's like the last Monday of September to last Monday of November. So it's every other month. And I know, and during these meetings, I typically don't have the opportunity to put the headset on. Now that might change. We'll see what happens this semester. Get a chance where it's like, hey, let's get Al in the headset. We'll project. Everybody can look and kind of do a walkthrough with the headset. If that makes sense, we'll do it. But what I learned was after the testing that got done with you all in the summer, I did a testing round with what you created with Junior, and my punch list ended up being this long stuff to get done. So
Yeah, and it's here. I have it here.
so what I'm gonna do is, Monday's gonna be my long day on campus. I'm gonna stay from 6 to 7, and if y'all don't have anything going on from 6 to 7, then usually we stay after. Junior helps, but Junior, we can't support his time after. So, if anything needs to be troubleshot, we're going to do, the recording, we're gonna troubleshoot during the sessions. We can make that happen. And then any testing and feedback at 6 o'clock, if something's done and we need feedback, hang loose after 6, and I'll test with you and give you feedback. Okay, that's how we're going. All right, so IVR1, so it's updating into Unity. Zhang Yu and Jen rewrite the game tutorial for Lehigh Gap story. That's still an ongoing thing, right?
It's almost done.
Almost done?
Yeah.
The email you sent me today was about the Hagap story or Mr. Hagap?
Hold on.
Because I didn't have time to read emails, but I saw that one.
It's Lehigh Gap story.
Okay.
So you said something that the only thing that is missing is about a red circle.
Yeah, the rest of the animation and the other thing has been done.
What is the animation?
Dude, click.
Oh, okay.
It's only I need to figure out how to put the rest of it on top.
Okay, great. All right. The
immersive game menu, Jonah's idea, I will make it become a reality.
Okay. And then we've got the new repositories going on that Junior's working on.
Implement the clickable text, click on highlighted word. Okay, so Dr. Bosley and I saw that the words are not all revised and the definitions are not accurate. So this is one of the big tests for this
The
semester.
long definitions are getting cut off.
Oh,
Yeah, so a lot of those long definitions, once I did it, they were getting cut off, so that needs to get fixed. So Quan, we assign that to you. I rewrite the game tutorial for Watching Explorers Green, that's Junior's. Prototype multi-functional panel for the Lehigh Gap story. That's Junior. Number 9, finalize implementation revision
You can
dialogue.
take Quan off that. Just
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay,
Right.
great.
One, I will need to put one in another one that I found.
okay.
The top view, there are some photos like in Thomas Iron and Bethlehem still the top view photo is not correct. And the labels as well. Sometimes the label, I have this on snapshots. It's in our VR industrial history workload. So like the river is here, but then the label Lehigh River is like on top of the city. The canal is here, the Lehigh Canal is here. So we need not only to revise
Wait,
the
you guys
photos.
baked those, right? Or did you guys, was this in the baked version or was it like
The
connected
big
to?
version was not working because remember there was an issue.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, I thought you guys solved that like that. So that's no problem, like not being able to bake into the asset.
no, you can still bake. It's just like the dialogue.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
I'll do.
But like this is not about baking. This is like the latest version. The assets are not revised, so we need to revise the photos and the labels to make sure that they are correct. Okay. Yeah, I see you are there. So there are many comments and topics there.
Okay.
And that's all under what, is that on the sprint report?
I don't know.
All right, scroll down. We have other stuff here to talk about.
Oh, one for Jonah, 24 Jonah. The button is wonky. I don't know if it's only in Paul's version because we were revising his version. Not the one we were working on. When we click Spanish, it changes to Spanish. But then when we click English, it doesn't.
Doesn't it?
And then after a while, we noticed that the very button in Spanish was toggling the languages.
So it's just okay.
So you just have to, that's number 24.
Okay. So like I said, we identified a lot of things that are kind of high priority. Della and Forms has to set up, make sure all the words from the glossary are highlighted in the dialog box. Is that related to what Juan's doing?
Number
Or not?
12 or number 15?
Yeah, one work on that. But like, we also have to remember that Kavia's back. So we
Right.
can also ask her to help us.
Right.
figure these.
So as you can see, there's, so the ones that are, so all these other ones, you're correct me if I'm getting right high, but they're kind of color coded. They're 12, 13, 14, 15. Those are all still high priority.
Yeah, because-
stuff. Yeah.
They need to be fixed.
Yeah, so all this stuff, even though we didn't write high, these were kind of like the punch list of stuff, numbers.
Wait, can I get like 12 as well? Because I feel like that also goes along with like number 6. So
All right. So yeah, so Quan, you're saying exactly what I was kind of hoping is we can start populating a few names in here. Word names. Oh yeah, come on up.
Oh, by the way, I had a chance to like mess around with the Unity AI. It's fun. It's like, I think it's useful if you
At
have
least when we have a question, we can ask them, right? And
Yeah.
then you give us the solution.
Oh, cool.
on Unity, so it's not like ChatGPT, it'll like, give you like the Unity stuff.
All right, and so for numbers 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, these are kind of our on the punch list high. Kavias or something you want to jump on to put on your list? You know, take, I know there's a lot here, so I don't know if you want to take one or two things and
I think those look good. I can probably just pick like 13, 14.
15 is easy for her to start.
15.
Yeah, we noticed that the chat log is saying the same text from Francis Walter across the scene. So you just have to go to every scene, go to the script where it's waiting for the key, and then you see which is the key for this scene, and then you put it.
For 16, where it says zoom panels, is that just like to increase the size and minimize it again? Like you know, like to make it bigger, or is that what you're talking about with zoom?
I
panels?
did this. You can
Oh, you
say
did it?
complete. Top to
Ah.
top.
I was just curious.
Yeah, a few of these ones I was able to complete in this past few.
All right, so how do I do that?
Right on the right next.
Just right here, put done.
Yeah. Because this is, we decided to use a new information sign and that didn't exist in the previous game. That's why, so I created this stuff.
This is the item to the options panel. So I think, Juan, yeah, go ahead, Lloyd.
21, Jonah, what stage are we?
That's good.
I don't remember anymore.
That's good.
I remember we had a huge discussion here about whether to put quotation marks or not, la, la, la.
pretty have already done that.
Yeah, we're done. That's
Yeah.
fine.
It's done, so
Yep.
say done, Dr. Watt.
21.
Yeah.
I can do 22. I mean, not 22, but 20 as well.
22.
20.
20.
Wait, on screen how button like does one toggle on and off the tool tips and right?
Yes, it's on board.
Wait, so besides tool tips, like what else does it do with it? Because I don't really interact with it much.
Blue chip phone. No. The alerts. But actually,
Why not?
because this is the VR version, we need the alert.
No, it's just tool tips, right? Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be good as well. But
I think Jonah can also do 22.
Yeah, let's
Because
go to
it's in the
options.
options.
Yeah. It's just everything have done by Monday, or it's just we should have.
Well, now I'm a little concerned about, we got 5 minutes left and I do want to move on, but I think we have enough to get us to Monday,
Okay.
right? Next week, everyone's got
Yeah.
enough, plenty
Yeah,
to do, sign, right? So, who's gonna be in charge of the first 3 sprint reports this semester? All right, Jonah, thank you. So this is the template, you know, the drill, just make the copy, put it into our folder.
Yep.
We got records, after I review it, send me an email Saturday.
it's number 23 still not there yet. I thought that's already done for the
The raycast.
It should be in all interactables. It's just
Yeah,
in
like-
a few ones.
oh, it's just in people.
Let's leave it open because I'm thinking about a way to talk to you three. How we can create a system that we can either use tags or use find object of type a certain class, because then we check the update, like if you find this object, it needs to change the color of the pointer. I don't know, something on those lines.
All right, I'm gonna move us on. So, back to the meeting notes. So the last thing is just sort of the task. So we've got, again, we're gonna keep the semester, the plan of attack is Javier, Jonah, Juan, let's knock out IVR1 yellow. And then the piece, that's like the PC version and then, the headset, we kind of
The
working on.
PC version is Vincent that you would like to. They
Yeah.
need to tackle IVR1 yellow VR,
Yeah,
while I'm tackling IVR1 green.
right. All right, so, Zhang Yu and Jen, like, you're still working on to finish up Lehigh Gap's story, right? From the summer? Okay, because my preference, I wrote this here, I was thinking more GION, but my preference would be, since y'all were, Jen and John, you were working on it last summer. Jen, how much time do you have? I mean, you only got like, because you're teaching now, you're pretty busy, aren't you?
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of time. So you may not be able to roll up your sleeves. But John, I think what I'd like to do is pop you into the Lehigh Gap story, if that's okay, so we can kind of finish off.
I added something that's extremely important.
All right, well, hold on. So does that make sense, John? You to first let's kind of wrap up Lehigh Gap. This is what I was thinking is I'd love to try to get that Lehigh Gap story operating the headsets, and then it's kind of like we're still tabling Mystery of the Lehigh Gap. You can always come back to it. I think Gian has a class at this time, but she should be able to, if I recall last spring, she was finishing up the end part, right? So I think that's something that we can have her revisit and work on that. Does that sound like a good plan? Keep the eye on that.
Hold down a little, like, we had brainstormed who would be working on each part. So we had Gap Story VR, Shanyu, Jennifer, not anymore, and me. I put myself so I can help Shanyu finish that.
Okay, and Jen will get feedback, but again, she's busy during the semester with teaching.
So we need to move Jen here. She's the sounding board. IVR1 green PC and IVR green VR, it's Junior.
Yeah.
IVR yellow PC, it's the green. IVR yellow VR, it's the three fellows.
Yeah.
And Mr. Lehigh Gap PC, it's Shanyu, John Young Junior, because like we have been working with this longer, so I can close it up. And this is not gonna have a VR version, so it's just one we look at.
And what we might be able to do is, again, we don't want to overwhelm Jerry because it's the first time kind of the group, but maybe what we'll try to do with, if Sheree can join us in the room next week, we can kind of chat with her and see what she might be, where she might plug in. Sheree, how much of the Unity tutorial have you got through?
I'm sorry?
How much of the Unity tutorial did you get through?
I haven't.
All right, so that's what want you to spend your time on.
Okay.
Yeah, and we want to keep you to come, if you can make them, I hope tonight was interesting for you. Kind of get not too overwhelmed.
Today was boring, it was just housekeeping.
Yeah, today was housekeeping,
Right.
Yeah, we didn't get to show stuff. Yeah, but
just, that's time spent on this outside of classwork and outside of the 20 hours a week for the other grants. But yes.
So Jerry, Unity for this semester, I'd encourage you to come to the meeting still. So you can see what's going on and keep up, try to get the Unity tutorials done this semester. That's a skill set. Yeah. You get your work done. All right, we covered everything, right?
Yep. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're adjourned for the night. Thanks to everyone. So it's great to see you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Good. Yeah.
I have one more test for you.
Yeah.
There's a reminder that you said that you would feel
Bye, Andre.
you do the
Au
test.
revoir.
Au revoir. The question for IVR green what is the environmental importance across all the locations, and IVR yellow.
Yellow.
What is the historical importance of these places, right?
Yeah, I've got to do, so I have it on Thursday. I was gonna do IVR yellow, so digging into that.
This kind of stuff, you can always call me, or like, we
right.
can meet together to tackle faster, you know?
Well, I wanted to, at least I wanted to, let me pull up my other computer here. What I got.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah.
Shanu and I, it's not welcome back. We have been working non-stop, right? Like we are still in the road, sister. We have to work.
I've got a break this summer, Sean. So I put, bye. I put on my calendar for Thursday. I blocked off my entire morning to work on the watershed yellow measures. And I better add that that's also the content, the test content.
On Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
What? time?
No, I'm doing that. I'm doing that Thursday. I'm doing that at home. That's my research. So, what do we need to do for green? This is for the dissertation. So what do we?
Oh, so like, can I do that? So the first, I mean, just to make sure that the question for green, because after we talked that day, we decided that it's gonna be only one.
Let me stop recording. So I have to go to stop share. And
Jen, by the way, you got yourself the office class, right?